Hi, this is Nick Martucci. I'm with Evergreen Investment Group, and I'm here to talk to you today about the differences between physical occupancy and economic occupancy. Physical occupancy is defined as how many units are currently occupied, and it's calculated by dividing the number of occupied units by the number of total units. Economic occupancy tells you how well the units are actually performing, and its calculation is dividing actual annual revenue by possible annual revenue. A simpler and certainly much more memorable way to understand the difference between the two concepts is to take this young lady who's clearly pregnant and she's got a baby on the way. She has 100% physical occupancy, but unfortunately she also has 0% economic occupancy because that kid is eating all the food. He's certainly taken up a lot of energy and definitely paying no rent. A real-world example of the two concepts. Let's take a hypothetical 100-unit complex. And we're going to color code the units in the complex. We're going to color code our model unit blue. So a model unit is simply a unit that's used to show potential tenants what their apartment might look like after they move in. And we'll color code any occupied units green. So in our hypothetical apartment complex, it's got one model unit and the other 99 units are occupied. So to calculate the physical occupancy, we take 99 occupied units divided by 100 total units, gives us 99% physical occupancy. Pretty impressive, right? Hold that thought just for a minute. So there are basically three steps to calculating economic occupancy. The first one is you need to calculate the possible annual revenue. So again, we're going to take our 100-unit hypothetical complex, and for this, to make it easy, let's just assume that every single one of these units is exactly the same in terms of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, etc. And because they're all the same, we know that the going market rate is $500 a month for every single one of these units. So to calculate the possible annual revenue, we take $500 times 100 units. That equals $50,000 a month. $50,000 a month times 12 months is $600,000 in possible annual revenue. The next step is to calculate the actual annual revenue. And again, we're going to color code. So our model unit's still going to be blue. It's unoccupied and it's paying $0 in rent. There it is. Our green units this time are going to represent what we'll call market rate units. These are occupied by tenants with leases in place for the going market rate, which again is $500 a month. There are 80 of those units. This is where economic occupancy gets interesting. So this complex, the current owner, has decided to provide 2 units rent-free to his property manager and his maintenance person. We will color code those yellow and we'll call those property manager units. They're occupied, but they're paying $0 a month in rent. And then finally, the last 17 units, we'll color code red and we'll call them underperforming units. And the reason why is because the current owner knew he was planning on selling this complex. And he needed to do anything and everything he could to get people into those last handful of units. And that anything and everything, unfortunately, required him to reduce his monthly rent from $500 to $350. So to calculate the actual revenue, we take the $0 a month that the model unit gets, we multiply it by 12 months, that's $0 in annual revenue. Then we take our market rate units. $500 a month times 80 units equals $40,000 a month in rent. $40,000 times 12 months equals $480,000 in annual revenue. Next are our property manager units. So $0 in monthly rent times 12 months, still $0. And then finally, our underperforming units. $350 times 17 units is equal to $5,950 in monthly rent. $5,950 times 12 months equals $71,400 in annual revenue. So we take $0 from the model unit, $480,000 from the market rate units, $0 from the property manager units, and $71,400 from the underperforming units. We add those all together, and it totals up to $551,400 in actual annual revenue. So the final step is just dividing the actual revenue by the possible revenue. So $551,400 divided by $600,000 in possible annual revenue gives us an economic occupancy rate of 91.9%. Still pretty good, but it definitely tells a very different story than the 99% physical occupancy that we saw earlier. So hopefully the next time you see a pregnant woman walking down the street, it'll help you remember the difference between economic occupancy and physical occupancy. And again, my name is Nick Martucci from Evergreen Investment Group. We'd certainly love to hear from you, any sort of comments, questions, and certainly suggestions for future video topics. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.